When quick-witted slacker John Winger, played by Bill Murray, loses his apartment, girlfriend, and job all in one day, he does what any red-blooded American would do. He joins the army and nearly starts World War III. Also starring Harold Ramis and John Candy, Stripes has become one of the most beloved comedies of all time. That's a fact, Jack. This is the 4K UHD from the Columbia Collection Volume 2. Stripes is I would say it's a comedy classic. Bill Murray, Harold Ramis are just amazing in this, and I think this is Harold Ramis is one of his first movies on screen. He was more of a writer. He helped write Animal House, and he wrote some, sketch comedy. And Bill Murray and Harold, they kind of came up together in Second City. But the one person that I think makes a outstanding impact and steals every scene that he's in is John Candy. John Candy is fantastic as Ox, and right away when he calls one of the army people Eisenhower, I mean, you're in for a barrel of laughs with John Candy on screen. There's joke after joke after joke, and they still hold up. I thought it was a wonderful time, again, to revisit this film. According to the special features, there's 2 great new documentaries, interviews with Ivan Reitman and Bill Murray, and they talk about how the movie was originally written for Cheech and Chong. And Cheech and Chong didn't want to do the movie, and Ivan Reitman was dead set on having Bill Murray. There were several improv scenes, including the basketball scene where Bill Murray's in his apartment shooting hoops, and it goes through the window, and he asks for a little help, and the prop guy was like, "No, I don't want to break the window," and Bill Murray's like, "That's the point." Bill Murray talked about, too, how the production was 1980, and they heard about John Lennon getting shot, and how everybody was really feeling depressed and stuff, so they kind of rallied together as a troupe. And they talked about how being on a film set is sort of like being in the army. You're going to battle each day, 12-hour days, you're a crew. And it was filmed on location in Fort Knox. I thought that was very interesting. I always thought that a lot of this was shot in New York, but they used Louisville, Kentucky to stand in, and I really, again, I learned something from the disc, so that was nice. Warren Oates plays the straight general, Sergeant Holka. There's that pivotal scene in the bathroom where he's telling Bill Murray, why don't you just punch me in the face, Winger? What are you going to do? He's trying to get these screwballs in trouble, and he ends up being injured, of course, hilarious, and the crew rallies around Winger, and they come up with their own routine, and somehow they're put on assignment, and then Holka comes around and embraces the group. That's what this movie's about. It's about putting our differences aside. As absurd as it is, there's still some reality here as far as like rallying together as a team, being a part of a group, and then representing your country and saving your fellow man, going back to the rescue mission at the end. So they're going back to save, their whole crew. And Elmer Bernstein does the score, and I thought the score was actually really good for a comedy. It's got one of those catchy themes. Warren Oates, John Candy, Ivan Reitman, Harold Ramis. I mean, they've all passed on, and it's just, I feel like Stripes has really gone under the radar now for current audience. You don't really hear much about it. You hear about Bill Murray's other movies like Groundhog Day or Ghostbusters. This is like I said, the 4K UHD cover. The 2 discs in here, and this is a wonderful transfer. They went back and restored it from the original camera negative. It looks amazing. Also included here is the extended edition and the theatrical cuts. Both cuts are included here. 40 Years of Stripes of Bill and Ivan. That's the 2 documentaries I was talking about. Those are the only new special features on here. The Blu-ray has the rest of the special features from like the extended releases prior and the other DVD releases prior. So do yourself a favor. Go out and check out Stripes if you haven't seen it. You won't be disappointed. For more Return of the Disc, visit returnofthedisc.com. Check out the audio version of today's show, available on all major podcast platforms. And be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel.